Hey guys, what's going on? Today I'm going to go over the best questing gear setup, at least in my opinion. This is kind of an equalizer between resist, damage, crit, and pierce. Because in my opinion, those are the most important stats, as well as, accuracy and power pip. But those really should be, max with every set. So right off the bat, I'm going to show you my stats first, and then my gear setup after. So first off, we're rocking 6,000 health, a little over, which is really, really good for a storm. You can get that a little higher with a couple of jewels. Mana, 365. Pretty, that's a decent mana base. Doesn't really have to be higher than that. It's not really needed. 171 damage. Now this is, you can get a lot higher than this, a decent amount higher than this, like maybe 190, but you're sacrificing a lot of other stats. As you can see, we have 39% resist. And for a storm, that is really, really good. And it's going to help you a lot with questing, especially with enemies that have pierce. It's going to help you a lot stay alive. So 6,000 health, 39 resist is, honestly, it's going to help you stay in long enough in a fight. Like let's say you're questing through Caramel, you're going to be able to solo most any boss or minion or battle in Caramel by yourself, except for maybe the final dungeon, but that's, that's something else. So 40% accuracy, you're not going to be fizzling any of the spells. I'm pretty positive, yeah, the lowest accuracy spells you have is 65%. There might be one that's 60%, I don't think there is, unless it's like a TC or something, but you're not going to be fizzling. So for the most part, you're not going to be fizzling. 722 crit. This is really high. A lot of wizards rock kind of low 600s, which is enough, but I think higher crit's also really, really good for trying to get a reliable crit on enemies. It just prevents them from blocking as much, or, yeah, for the most part. So 120 block, doesn't matter, you're not going to be blocking that much, but it does prevent some of the crit damage. 25% armor piercing, that's pretty good. I know you can get a little higher, which I'll show you a little bit later. But 25% armor piercing, you're going to be able to pierce half of tower shields. You're going to be able to pierce some of the storm resist it has. Like, let's say you're facing enemies that are like not a boss, but like enemies with like, let's say 40% resist. You're going to be resisting most of their, piercing most of their resist. So it's going to save you a round of prisms. 100% power pip. This is necessary in my opinion for every setup in every school. It's just 100% power pip is important. It's really important. 107% shad pip, not bad, but you're not. It's also not great. This is one of the lower things in this set because shadow pip does actually matter, and it's mattering more because first round shadow pip saves you rounds. It saves you time, and it can actually save you more time than a lot of the other stats. Like a couple of damage might not ever actually save you time, whereas like it might never ever come down to a couple damage, whereas it'll always come down to a shot of it, like a round earlier. But yeah, so obviously I would love to look into sets that give a little higher. It's also very hard to find sets that do, but I'm sure you can kind of like switch gear sets and see what's worth. 51% pip conversion. This is pretty decent. I know you can get a lot higher, like 80%, but I don't think it's necessary for PvE. Mostly because if you're on storm and you're hitting, you're only most likely hitting if it's going to kill. If not, obviously you just hit again, and this only works 50%, like pip conversion. It's only necessary for spells that are kind of odd pip, like let's say you're using glow bugs, let's say using bugs, right? And you have 6 pips, like 3 power pips. You can obviously, this will come in handy, but it's also like you start off with a regular pip, a white pip, so it's only really necessary if you're going to use that white pip and then continue to use an odd pip spell. So it's a little bit situational, which is why I don't think it's worth changing stats for. But anyways, let's get to the gear setup. So we're rocking Dragoon, Shocking Helm. This is pretty much the same for every school. Malister's Cloak. I'm pretty sure only Storm uses this at this point. It's just the 25% Storm accuracy. Nothing comes close. You can't sacrifice this. And same thing with damage. I don't think the damage or crit or any other set comes close. Maybe I could see like a pack robe, but I don't think there is. Also, power pip's pretty good. But the health is honestly the main issue. If you can get Dragoon robe and find a way to maybe like even out your other stats, it might be worth just because you get a little extra resist, you get a lot extra health, and that might be better for questing. But it also might be slower, so you know, I don't know. Dragoon shotgun boots, again, same thing for every school for the most part. There might be pack boots. I think there is pack boots for some schools that are a little bit better, but then you kind of have to rock 2 other Dragoons that. Sky Captain Boarding Hook. Now, this isn't the best wand you can get. However, in my opinion, this is the best wand for overall stats, as it still gives the most crit and damage on any wand, and it gives 4% pierce. So it's all around a really, really good, wand, and it gives a tier socket. You can use stuff like Ione's sword. I am trying to craft the Ione's focus sword because it gives 2% more pierce, 1 less damage, but it also gives energy and fishing luck and another square socket. In my opinion, if I get a little more energy, I can use that not necessarily for planting and stuff, but I can use it for what's it called? I can use it for like beast moon planting. Just like overall, it's good to have a little bit more energy, even if you're not purposely doing some energy stuff. It's just like just looking at the other stats. City 1, obviously this is good for if you're missing power pip and accuracy, but it gives no other stat, so it's really only good for like low levels. And then if you really want pierce, I would sacrifice the 21 damage for the 13% pierce. And in my opinion, 21% damage, yes, it's a lot, but at the end of the day, if you add just like a 10% blade, that's already more than 21% damage, just because it's 10% plus it's 10% of, your 171 damage, so it's actually way more, it's like 25%. It's kind of confusing, but yeah, that's what it is. Aphrodite Storm of Thorns. I finally just got this. I love this. I was rocking this before with the crit, but Pierce is more important in my opinion, because at least now that crit got nerfed in a way. I mean, honestly, I consider it a buff because you're buffing your other stats and you don't need as much crit. So I still consider it a buff. Plus, enemies don't block so much, so it's actually pretty good. But again, this gives energy, it gives health, power pip, it gives like the most damage. From my, there might be something that gives a little bit more damage, but I think this gives the most damage plus power pip. Now there is another a theme. You can obviously do Morgans. Morgans gives 1 less damage. It might give more power pip, but 1 less damage is not worth it in my opinion, because you don't need the power pip. But if there is another theme, I'm pretty sure it doesn't give power pip, and obviously as you can see, I'm at 100%. There's no like wiggle room. I can't sacrifice any power pip. So yeah, we're rocking Aphrodite's. Amulet. I was farming for this, finally got it. Dragooned Shocking Charm. Now why I recommend this instead of the ring is because now that crit's nerfed, you don't need as much crit, so you don't have to rock the Dragoon's Shocking Ring. You can you sacrifice a little bit of crit, but you get 6 more damage, and that's really, really good. You're also sacrificing, because before I was using this, you're sacrificing 30 crit, 2% pierce, but you're getting extra resist, and you're getting the extra damage from the Dragoon set. So it's really good. Like I said, the Director's Insular Ring. This is the best ring, and it's actually optional. I did not have to do any farming for this whatsoever. You just have to look in the bazaar every once in a while, see if you can find it. You'd have to get a little lucky, but yeah. And I had the 4% pierce on here. I'm trying to get the 6% pierce, but it's a little difficult at the time. So 4% pierce is what I'm rocking with. Obviously, if I do get 2% extra, that'll put me at 27. Also, I need to get the tier socket, but as of right now, you have to do the side quest, which I'm working on, to get the legendary shocking wrench. And this is the only reason you would ever use that legendary shocking wrench, at least as of right now, is to get the what am I forgetting? Caramel equipment. Triple socket, whatever. Pet can actually be improved a little bit. We're rocking the Glamour Gold Shard just so we can get the Blade and the Windstorm, which I find is really useful for Omen. But I'm rocking 10% resist, 3%, 3% damage, 6% damage, 9% damage, 18%. So this can be improved in multiple ways. First of all, in my opinion, I would sacrifice the 25 crit for 5% resist, and that would leave me at a little bit less crit, a little bit under 700, but still in that high 600s, which is still really good. and you'll be rocking 44% resist, which is way better. But also what you can do is, instead of my 3% storm damage, I would have 6%. I would have the pain giver, which is 6% spiral damage, and for the socket, I would do the strength. So I'm pretty sure if I get the right stats, I can get up to 2 more damage, 1 more damage. Just trying to do the math in my head. So I can get 4 more damage. So I'd be able to get 175 damage, and I'll get 2 more extra resist. So I'd be 47 resist and 175 damage. Those stats are insane for questing. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna work on the pet a little bit. Also have to try to get the Painbringer jewel or Pain Giver jewel just to kind of improve the stats as of right now. Mount is one thing that is kind of like very pay to win, so I don't have it as of right now. You can fish, but fishing for mounts is just not worth time in my opinion, unless you get lucky or you just like fishing. Besides for that, I'm just rocking regular, I like changing out mounts, and I don't think the stats are worth, using a mount that you don't like. I think enjoying the game is much better than having a couple extra damage that might actually never come useful. But obviously, if you do have it available, if you have, like, say, the primeval horde, what's it called? Good horde on the lore. Yeah, primeval horde pack. If you have the mount and the pet from this, obviously you can use that. That will give you 7 extra damage. Again, really good. That would actually bring your damage up really high with your other stats. But then you also have to use mounts that you might not like all the time. So, yeah, that's kind of just, again, this is my opinion. If you did enjoy the video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. Also, if you would like to see any other videos similar to this, comment down below. And if you'd like to see any videos that are completely different,
Today's metallic treasures are revealed!
But until next time, see you guys later.